Hey again, everyone. Fall in for another episode of Tactical Plastic Report, where I talk about my game Army Men, a game of tactical plastic. This week I wanted to do something a little bit different from my usual videos. I thought I would crack open the book to a section that most people are either going to gloss over, or may not even know is there, and do a reading from it. Because while a lot of the rules focus on tactical positioning, on your class abilities, and on all of the mechanical things that are going to happen during any given mission, it's also a role-playing game, which means that there's world building, there's things that may not necessarily affect how well you shoot that still go into what it is on your character sheet. And part of that are the faiths and religions found throughout the Plastos Federation. So, I thought I would take a moment and tell people about those. Page 80, from the core book. Many faiths have arisen among the Plastos Federation over time. As faith is one of the major influences on an individual's worldview, and a major part of someone's community, culture, and upbringing, it is important to consider what faith, if any, the character follows. The following list is far from universal, but they are the most common religions one encounters. Destinarians. A faith that is closely associated with United Polymeria, they believe in a vision of unity of resinous peoples. Destinarians believe that, whatever the differences they share, those who come together in fellowship tap into a universal truth that they all spring from the same source, and that if they work together as one nation, there is nothing they cannot accomplish. Destinarians are some of the most common faiths to see as chaplains, and in United Polymeria, it's considered bad luck to set sail without such an officer on board. Travel is encouraged among the faithful, and volunteering for service is considered one of the best ways to do that while expanding the borders of the Plastos Federation. Particularly ardent destinarians are often drawn to volunteer with the Federation's expeditionary force, allowing them to move beyond current known ends of the map to find what lurks in the blank spaces of the wilds. For destinarians, the Vespoids are merely one more obstacle that will be overcome in order to secure their birthright. While there are some sects who view them as much the same way one views natural disasters or choppy seas, there are some sects who take the Vespoid attacks personally. These sects view defeating this menace as instrumental in moving outward from where they are now, drawing strength from their beliefs in the unity of their faith. Hersini. The name for both the faith and the faithful. This religion is one of the earliest known in the Plastos Federation. Beginning centuries ago as an oral tradition, the Hersini believed that the resinous peoples were made from the oils of the sacred hemp plant, which is why this faith reveres nature. With the deepest roots in the former nation of Halogen, Hersini cultivates gardens and parks as a form of respect for the world they believe gave them their genesis. Even deep in urban environments, a Hersini always has at least a window box or a small collection of houseplants to nurture their spirit. Most Hersini also keep a pipe and properly prepared herbs in a pouch on their person, as the ritual of smoking helps them contemplate and reflect on the world and their place in it. Regarding the Vespoids, the Hersini are far from united in their views. Some feel that they should be respected as a part of nature, while others view them as the physical representation of the Skepti, the embodiment of cruelty, callousness, and destruction, which one must protect themselves from. For some fringe sects, the battle against this foe is something akin to a holy war, though that is only a sliver of those who practice this faith. The Orthodoxy of Heroes. The Orthodoxy states unequivocally that there is no divine figure looking down upon them. No one will rescue them in times of strife or save them from danger. That every resinous person is born with nothing more than their life and their willpower. It is the exercise of willpower in the face of hardship that raises one to the status of a hero. The faith of the Orthodoxy is that one should always be striving to accomplish, to achieve, and to be an example of the very best. Whether it's as a craftsman, an inventor, soldier, scientist, or any other field, those who follow this creed attempt to excel, to be an example that others can hold up, and to blaze a trail that they can follow. This faith began in the chilly heartland of the Styric Republic, where the nation's heroes were lionized as a way to give hope to the people during cold winters. The history and memories remain living things, and it keeps the fires lit within the people. Memoriams where the faithful congregate are often filled with stylized paintings and sculptures depicting glorious moments from history, along with plaques that provide details of the events being shown. Lectures on the lessons learned from the great heroes are delivered from the pulpit, inspiring those who hear them to go back out into the world and to follow in the footsteps of those who came before. The Vespoids have been a blessing in disguise, though few of the faithful are crass enough to say so aloud. While warfare was one of the primary methods Orthodox faithful were drawn to create their own legends, there is something unique about the Vespoid menace that lends itself to the mythic tales and fireside stories. Tales of the resinous people standing against these creatures, fighting for their very survival and to protect those they care about, take root in those who hear them. Nothing makes one a finer hero or a more inspiring martyr than fighting the good fight, after all. Pragmatists. Marked by the symbol of the all-seeing eye, the pragmatists are really more of a philosophy than they are a religion. Pragmatists tend to view the world through the lens of the scientific method and to avoid questions that simply cannot be answered except as thought experiments. Rather than concerning themselves with spiritual matters, pragmatists focus on doing good within their communities and in helping those in need. One of the highest callings of a pragmatist is public service, which is why members of this faith are often found in military service and in public office, as well as in academia and scientific fields. Pragmatists abhor dogma and doctrine, always reevaluating things based on new information and attempting to examine their own behavior in order to better themselves. The highest duty among pragmatists is to teach, and one of the best ways to do that is to set an example. Unlike other faiths, which have struggled with the Vespoids, the pragmatists simply regard them as a threat. They can be studied and understood, and as they learn more about these strange creatures, they may reevaluate their positions. However, even the most philosophical pragmatist understands that when you're in a fight for your life, you don't waste time with debate when more decisive action needs to be taken. Precisionism. All the proof one needs of the divine is all around us, according to a precisionist. This faith views the role of the resinous peoples as cogs in a machine or gears in a watch. They were formed for their purpose and have been left to fulfill it. While it might seem cold and mechanical, precisionism embraces everyone and comforts them by reminding them that even the mightiest of machines will not function if the small, seemingly unimportant parts are not there. Whether it be a single bearing in a tank tread, the pins in a rifle's stock, or the links in an anchor chain, function is only made possible by everyone working together to achieve their goals. Precisionism congregations tend to be very close-knit and quite welcoming, knowing that everyone brings something new, unique, and different to the community. As a sign of their faith, most precisionists will wear some kind of winding watch with a gear engraved on it. Others may use gears as decoration to signal their involvement, but this is frowned upon by many in the faith, as a gear alone serves no practical purpose. A functional watch, whether worn around the neck, in the pocket, or on the wrist, is a constant reminder of faith, as well as a functional tool. Precisionism takes the firmest hold in communities who face difficulties, which is why it marks a common faith among soldiers who all depend on their squads to work together as a single, tactical unit. While some branches of this faith view the Vespoids as a dark reflection of their own communities, others simply view them as another force in the machine the divine wound up and is letting run. They have a purpose, even if that purpose is to present conflict. That's all for this week's installment of Tactical Plastic Report. As always, if you have another part of the game you're curious about or you want to hear more about, leave that down in the comments below. And if you have a particular favorite religion or you feel there's a different philosophy that should be included in the setting, please let me know that as well. But until next time, everyone, fall out and have a good day gaming.